everybody. Welcome to my first lockdown live lessons. It's going to be at 3 o'clock every Wednesday and every Friday through lockdown, because I know you guys aren't at school, and I thought what you might like to do is learn something about animals and about veterinary medicine. So that is how it's going to work. I have put together a presentation for you guys today that we're going to run through, and today we are covering how to make the perfect home for your pet, for your cat. We're talking about cats today. We're going to talk about how cats think. We're going to talk about why that is important when we're thinking about having them in our homes, and what we can do to make our homes the absolute perfect place for cats to be. So let's get started. Oh, just before I start, I'm aiming for this to be about half an hour. I will be checking the comments on my phone, because once I start the presentation, I can't actually see you guys on the screen. So if you want to say hi, hello, Anya, great to see you. If your parents or your guardian will let you, you're very welcome to comment and say hi. And if you've got any questions, type them in the comments box as well, and I will do my best to get to them at the end of the talk. But I don't want to be here all day, so if I don't get to you, I'm sorry. If I have the time, I'll go back and answer some with writing them down instead. And if you've got any friends who aren't on Facebook but who would like to watch this, it's also going to appear on my Instagram TV and also on my YouTube channel, so it will be downloaded for them to watch. So, hi, Chloe, age 4. I'm Gabriella. James and Joshua are in Dublin. This is amazing. I'm really, really pleased that you're here today. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. I'm sure you've been through this a lot recently with teachers saying, I'm going to share my screen. I hope this works. So I hope that it does. This one, share that one. There we go. Right, so we're going to go to the top. Okay. Right then, I'm just checking on my phone to make sure that it's working and that I can see it. And can you guys see that screen? So welcome to our first lockdown live. And this is all about how to give your cat the perfect home. And here are our categories for today. Quite proud of that one, if you notice, a little joke. So first of all, we are going to think like a cat. And that is really important, because our cats think really differently to us. And when we understand how they think, it means we can understand what they need. Then we're going to go through all their very exacting requirements. We are our cat's servants after all, and everything must be perfect. So we're going to talk about their sleeping arrangements, their catering requirements, their toilet facilities. They need a litter tray if they live inside, and also their entertainment, how we keep them busy. Okay, so hang on, guys, we're going to get going. So first of all, how do we think like a cat? So cats are loners. They're actually really solitary. They're quite happy in their own company, unlike us, who will get lonely if we don't see our friends, like we're not doing at the moment, but at least we've got family to keep us entertained. Cats are quite happy in their own company. So if you've got a house with more than one cat in, if those cats are related and have grown up together since kittens, they'll probably get on. But if those cats aren't related, sometimes they get on, and that's wonderful, but sometimes they're more like tolerate each other, but they're not actually that bothered. And if you've only got one cat and you're worried that might be lonely in the middle of the night or anything like that, don't worry about it. Lonely when you guys go out to work or go to school, don't worry about it. They're probably absolutely fine. They're climbers. You've all seen cats up trees and on the top of the fences and on the top of the garages or wherever they go. They love to climb and they love to be up high. And one of the reasons they love to be up high is because they like to watch what's going on around them, because they're hunters. So they like to see where they might be able to catch some birds or where they might be able to catch some mice. And what cats do is they hunt little and often. So they're not bringing down a cow in a field. They're eating little mice and little birds all the time. And that's relevant for when it comes to their catering requirements. They're territorial. Another reason why they like to get up high is they like to watch their territories and see who's coming and going. And one of the reasons for that is, although they are fierce, they are small, and in some countries cats are actually, as well as being predators, they're prey. So they like to rest in places where they know they're going to be safe, because of course they're solitary, so they've not got friends to look out for them. Oh, hi. Who else is on here? Oh, hi, Ellis. And hi, Mimi and your cat, Gracie. I'm so pleased that you're watching. Hi, Poppy in Bournemouth. Hi, Reese. Oh, this is so great. I'm so pleased you're all here. Oh, and one final point about cats, which I think a lot of us could understand. They hate sharing. They hate sharing anything. Again, remember that because it's relevant. Okay, but we're going to kick off with a quick question. Are you ready? Tortoiseshell cats are more likely to be male or female. So tortoiseshell cats are like the guys in the pictures here. They're that brown and ginger, and sometimes they're white as well, but they're more likely to be one sex than the other. So tap your answers in or get them ready because the answer will be coming up soon. That'll get you thinking while I'm chatting. Hi, Tanya and her cat Duchess. That's so cool. Macaulay, age 5. Amazing. So let's get started with their sleeping arrangements. Cats spend 70% of their time asleep, so they need to sleep somewhere nice. I also enjoy sleeping, but I don't spend 70% of my time asleep, though some days I'd quite like to. So they love somewhere raised up. And that's because A, they're brilliant at climbing, so they can get somewhere high easily. It means that they're safe if they sleep up high, and they can rest there and keep an eye on things. So things like this cat tree down here, where it's got raised beds up high. One of them is covered, that's relevant as well. And also, if you've got lots of cats in a house, sometimes they want to share a bed, but very often they want their own. So this one is amazing because the beds are raised, but there's also different options for the cats, so they've all got their own bed. And they like somewhere covered. And that's because, again, they like to feel safe and secure. Did you know that if a cat can't see you, it thinks you can't see them? So if there was a little cat in this bed and it had all we saw was its bottom poking out, it would be quite convinced that it was completely hidden and we had no idea where it was. So I really, really love these igloo beds because they work brilliantly, especially if you put them up high, stick it on a chair. Job done. You don't need to buy a whole cat tree. Some of these things don't have to be expensive. Somewhere warm. Cats love to be cozy warm. I think every cat owner knows that. So one thing that I particularly love are these radiator beds that you can buy because they're raised up and they're super warm and they're super soft. And then, but the other place they rest is anywhere they like. So you can find them on the bed or on the sofa or on the arm, and lots of cats have got their own special chair. So they go wherever they want to. Right, the answers coming up. I have seen a lot of correct answers. So well done. Hi, Holly, age 9. Alex, from 11. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining in. Heath and Hopper, hiya. Right, so here's the answer. The answer is 99.9% of tortoiseshell cats are female. So if you meet a tortie, she's likely to be a girl. Very occasionally we get a male one, but they're always infertile, and that means that they can't breed. And Americans call tortoiseshell cats calico. So if you ever meet an American, or if you're watching from the other side of the world, hello, thanks for joining us. I'm talking about calico cats here. Right, let's get back on the Purr-fect Home. Food. This is important. Cats love eating, but they like eating in a very specific and particular way. Of course they do. Of course they do. So they like to eat little and often for starters. So cats like to nibble a mouthful and then off they go. And that's because their nature is to eat small prey frequently. So your cat in the wild, or a feral cat, might eat 6 to 8 mice in a day. So they're used to having a small meal and then getting on with their day. They're not meal eaters. Humans are meal eaters. Dogs can meal eat and gorge, but our cats don't. So a lot of people come to me and say, well, I tried this new food and the cat doesn't like it. He took a mouthful and then off he went. No, that's all he wanted. He probably did quite like it, actually, but he only wanted that mouthful at that time. So don't worry if they don't chow down on the bowl of biscuits straight away. That's how they should be eating. So leaving a bowl of cat kibble out and about for them to nibble on through the day is actually really perfect and a great way for them to eat naturally. But that doesn't always work if they're greedy. So if you've got a greedy cat who does, you put a food down and they hoover it all up, then that is not going to work for them. But for a cat who's got a healthy attitude towards eating, then a bowl of biscuits down for them to take a bite and wander off and do something else in between naps is the perfect thing. And here's some more top tips on feeding. If you're going to have a cat, you need to choose a diet that's suitable for their age and their lifestyle. So think about how different they are. We've got kittens, we've got grown-up cats, we've got our beautiful golden oldies, who's anyone in there sort of over maybe let's say 12, 13 years old. Some cats live just indoors and some cats go outside and they have different nutritional requirements. The outdoor ones are going to be more active. So the indoor ones maybe need a lower calorie food. Or some people, myself included, might have a cat who carries a bit too much weight. They're a bit of a porky pussy and they might need a low calorie food. So talking of my cat, Here he is. His name is actually Fatty. He did have another name when he came to us, but he was basically a cushion on legs. So we nicknamed him Fatty and it just stuck. And he's super greedy. So I feed him out of one of these puzzle bowls. And you can see that instead of being able to shove his face in and eat it all at once, he has to get each one out, each little kibble out one by one. And that's really great because it slows him down, it gives him something to do, and it makes eating interesting. You can also get treat balls to hide food in, or you can make your own as well. And give a small meal of wet every day. So I think the best food to feed a cat is a complete kibble biscuit like this, but a little bit of wet food every day is probably a good idea, but I'm talking like maybe a tablespoon at most. You don't need to give them a lot. It helps keep their fluid intake up and it gets them used to eating lots of different kinds of food, because sometimes cats, again, they're very particular, can end up only eating one kind of food, like just biscuits. And sometimes if they get sick and they need a special food and they won't eat it, can make our life a bit difficult. So getting them used to eating wet food on a regular basis is a really great idea. So who else have we got watching? Conan and Ethan and Alex and there's so many names and so many of you. Katie, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Your mum's amazing. They are brilliant. Okay, and then one more thing. Don't forget they hate to share, so don't make them come for meals. We love to eat meals with our friends and our family. Sit down around the table and have a great time. Cats absolutely hate that. So if you've got a cat and if you've got more than one cat, so if you've got 2 or 3 cats, what you need to have is 2 or 3 or even 4 food bowls spread out well around the house. So they don't have to ever come together for meals. They really, really don't like having to share. And if you've got 2 food bowls on one mat, that's 1 food bowl. You need 1 food bowl at one end of the kitchen and 1 food bowl at the other. Right, time for a fun fact, because I'm teaching you a lot, but I need it to be interesting. So the most common cat breed is the Moggy. So those are just our ordinary cats that most of us will have, and they come in 2 varieties. We call them the domestic shorthair, DSH for short, like this ginger guy here, or the domestic long hair, who are the fluffy guys. So next time you go to the vet and you pop your cat on the table and you can say to the vet, he's a domestic short hair, and the vet will be very impressed. My cat, Fatty, he's a domestic short hair, but he's black and white. Right, catering water. Water is really important. We all know how drinking is important to our health, and it's exactly the same for our cats. But cats naturally aren't big drinkers. They don't drink a huge amount. And we can make it even worse by not providing the water in the perfect way for them. So rule number 1, they hate to drink near to where they eat. So again, we're spreading those food bowls out. If we've got lots of cats in our house, we also need to spread those water bowls out as well. And that comes from their natural hunting behavior. So they're catching these little mice little and often. If they drank from a puddle or from a pond, maybe where the mouse lived, what do you think the mouse is doing in that water? It's the mouse's toilet. So the cat doesn't want to drink that water because the water is going to be contaminated and might make the cat sick. And that sticks in their brains, even if all they're eating is kibble and wet food. So if you put the water bowl next to the food bowl, they will completely ignore it. Those double bowls where there's one plastic one and one, the 2, and there's one hole for water and one hole for food, they need to be banned from sale, in my opinion, or just put food or water in both. So spread those water bowls out. And also they prefer wide bowls filled right to the tippy top so they can see when they drink. They're not having to put their face right down into something. And also their whiskers are very sensitive. And what they don't want to do is they don't want to get their whiskers wet or have to get them squished on the side of the bowl. So make sure it's really super flat and super wide and they don't have to disturb their whiskers. That's why you might provide a water bowl inside for your cat, but actually they go outside and they drink from the pond or puddles or the bird table. And that's why, because that water is wide and flat, and that's how they like it. And some cats like dripping taps. Fatty, again, he likes to drink from the shower. So every morning when I get up, he comes and he tells me, and I have to put the shower head on the floor, turn on the water and leave him to it. And that's because, again, if clean running water is less likely to be contaminated. So some cats much prefer running water rather than water that's standing. So this is his morning. I have my coffee and he has his shower. And if your cat needs to drink more, so maybe sometimes they can have some medical problems that mean that they really do need to drink more, like if they have problems with their bladders or maybe with their kidneys, try flavouring the water. Hands up, who prefers juice to water? I do. And so does your cat. So the best thing I think is tuna, spring water out of a tin of tuna. So not brine, that's too salty, not oil, that's too oily, just that lovely spring water out of a tin of tuna. Save it and put it in the food bowl, put it in the water bowl, dilute it up, and your cat will love you for it. Right, next. Another question. Are you ready? Hi, Ophelia. Who else is on here? Hello, Flissy. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Edie, if you're there. Question, how many toes do cats have? So if you've got a cat, get counting. If not, get figuring it out. Is it 16 or 18? And do you like this dude in the corner? He's my thinking cat. Do you like that? Love that. Thinking cat. So get thinking about that. The answer's coming up. Right. Toilet facilities. Very important, but also not that nice to think about, but it is vital that we consider it. So cats are picky about where they pee and where they poo. And aren't you as well? So we like to make sure where we go to the toilet is nice. So some cats go outside and that's great. But if they do use a litter tray, here are some rules to follow to make sure that it's the perfect toileting facility. So first of all, you must have more than one litter tray than you have cats. And even if you've got one cat, really you need 2 litter trays, because often you'll find they like to wee in one and poo in another. But if you've got lots of cats or more than one cat in your house, you need more litter trays. If you've got 2 cats, you need 3. If you've got 3 cats, you need 4. Because who wants to share a toilet? Would you want to use a toilet that someone else had used and is still dirty? I wouldn't, and they're not going to want to either. So spreading them out and making sure there's enough for everybody is very important. Because otherwise what you'll find is they'll just wait till you're not looking and pee behind the sofa. So there we go. That's the only time that you get lots of cats in a litter tray. And again, this is really important. They must be spread out. So if you've got 2 litter trays in the corner and you're thinking, well, I've got 2, that's fine. I'm sorted. Nope. 2 litter trays together are basically, in the cat's mind, a toilet like this. And would you sit on a toilet like that next to somebody else, even if they were your best friend? Because I wouldn't. So if you've got 2, they need to be, again, really spread out in different rooms or different ends of the same room. And the trays need to be big. So they need to be 1.5 times the length of your cat and ideally high clear size. So a lot of the teeny tiny trays that you find available in the pet shops actually aren't that perfect. They might be quite convenient for us because they're quite small, but lots of cats don't really like them. This is just a plastic box with a hole cut in it. And that is the perfect thing for that cat. And the other thing is, if you notice, he's on really soft litter. So look at it, it looks just like sand, and that's perfect because that's really gentle on their paws. Those litters you can get in the shops that are kind of like, they're like little pellets. They're not the best because although they soak up the poo and the wee and make it easier to clean, they're really tough on their little paws and they don't like it very much. And you must clean them out every single day, if not twice a day if you've got quite a few cats. And if you want to volunteer for that, that's absolutely great. But make sure you wash your hands. Right, who else is watching? Hello, everybody. Rosalie, thanks for watching. You want to be a vet as well, so take notes. Right, Rosalie, did you get this question right? So here is the answer. 18 cats have 18 toes. They have 4 on each one of their paws, and they have little tiny thumbs that we call dew claws on the front paws. So that, you're waving at that, guys, isn't that the cutest thing? So, but the most toes ever recorded on a cat is actually 28. And that's because it had a condition called polydactyl, which means lots of toes. And here's one right here. Look at all those toe beans. How cute is that? So on one side, you've got a normal foot with 4 little pink toe beans and the big one in the middle. And then on the other hand, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little toe beans and the thing in the middle and the pad in the middle. So I do enjoy cat's toes, and the more toes, the better, in my opinion. But there you go, polydactyl. Right. Entertainment. Our cats need to be entertained. And even though they spend a lot of time asleep, they are actually, in between times, quite active. They like to play like they like to eat, little and often. So 5 minutes is often enough. You play with them and they wander off and you think, oh, they didn't like that. They did. They just had enough. They're on to the next thing. They're tired. They need another nap. Or they're hungry and they need a tiny snack. So don't take offense. And they also love new things. Who doesn't love a new toy? And our cats are exactly the same. And if you've got a house full of cat toys and they're all lying around, then they'll often ignore them because they're territorial creatures. They're interested in new things in their territory. But once they've checked them out and know them, they're kind of going to ignore them because they're like, meh, I've seen that. Meh. So my top tip, you don't have to buy loads of new cat toys. You just need to tidy up. Put them all in a box in a cupboard and bring 4 or 5, 2 or 3, however many, out every day and let them play with them and then put them away and a new thing the next day, and that will keep them busy. Oh, hi, Katie. You want to be a vet as well. That's great. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. So this is the perfect example of a cat who's been bought a very expensive, very lovely toy. And I think actually this dude is making a point, isn't he? That he does not wish to play with the toy that his mum has so kindly invested in for him. Yep, he's not interested. One really popular toy for cats is those laser toys, and they love chasing after the dot and people love playing with them. But it's really important that after you play with anything, they could do with getting a treat, but particularly after a laser toy, they should have a treat, because that laser toy is making your cat like super excited. It's imitating that natural hunting behavior. It's pouncing and it's jumping. And if then after like 2 or 3 minutes of that, you turn it off and wander off, the cat's like, but, I'm hunting. So it's really helped, and that's when they get really frustrated and they might come and jump on your ankle or start to scratch up the sofa. So after you've played with something like a laser toy where there's actually nothing for them to catch and hunt and grab and scratch like they would naturally, give them a little treat or have a couple of minutes of playing with a toy that they can do that with. Otherwise they can get themselves really wound up. And they love things like acting. Fishing rods are one of the best cat toys ever because it looks and acts just like prey. You can dangle it up in the air and pretend that it's a bird and they can jump up and grab it and get it in their paws, or you can winkle it along the ground. That's often better for our older ones who maybe are getting a bit stiffer but still want to play. You can drag it along the floor and they can chase it as if it was a mouse. The toys do not have to be expensive. You can make them yourself at home. We're all got a bit of spare time on our hands. I've put a link in the description box to a website that shows you how you can make cat toys. Look at this, they're just made out of toilet rolls. So save some toilet rolls and you can make some amazing toys and some amazing treat dispensers for your pussycat. And there you are. That is how you create a perfect home for your cat. You give them beds that are up high and covered and lots of them. You make sure that they're able to eat little and often and the food bowls are spread out. You do exactly the same with the water and spread those out as well. You give them lots of litter trays and you make sure that they're clean and that you play with them little and often every day, a couple of times a day, quick play, and then they can go back to their nap and you can do that. So has anybody got any questions? I'm going to check out the comments now, and if I find any, that's great. I'm also going to turn this screen off so I can see you guys again. Hi! Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. This is absolutely amazing. I'm so pleased to see you all here. Oh, thanks, KS. I have spent a very happy time going around the internet finding the best pictures of cats that I possibly could. Who else have we got? So, do I know anything about rats? I do know stuff about rats, yes. But I think we'll stick to cats today. Oh, Karen, her cats like catnip. Cats absolutely love catnip. You can get some amazing catnip toys where the catnip's inside. Catnip is this herb. It's completely natural. You can even plant it in your garden so they can have it out there. And it makes cats they just love it. And they go crazy when catnip comes on. So who else has joined us today? Oh, hi, Ellie and Bella and Cassie, your cats. It's great. I'm so pleased that you're tuning in. Loads of people wanting to be vets. If you've got any suggestions for any subjects that you'd like me to cover, that would be great. Have I said hello? Marta has got 3 litter trays and 2 cats. So well done, Marta. You knew exactly what you were doing. Your cats are very well catered for. Their toilet facilities are just perfect. Super. Okay, I think I kind of said that was Ace. Oh, hi, Lola and Woody. Oh, I'm absolutely delighted that you guys are all here and joining me. So that is it for today. I will see you back here on Friday at 3 o'clock for another live. Tune in if you can, but don't worry if you can't because it will all be downloaded. And on Friday, we are talking about one of my very favorite subjects, fleas. and a little teeny bit about worms. So Friday is not for the faint of heart, because there are going to be quite a few videos of fleas and worms. And if you like that kind of thing, which I do, you're going to absolutely love it. But if you're maybe a little bit more sensitive, maybe have your finger over the exit button, because some of those pictures, some of the stuff is a little bit creepy. Right. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy lockdown. It won't be forever. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.